Good.
Hi guys, this is Kristen Murphy from Wine Library.
And I'm Jeff Paradise, also from Wine Library.
And we're doing another Behind the Vine, and this time we're going on the 2008 Vincent Mothe Chablis. Now the reason I chose this was because we had, I'd actually taken this out and had it with dinner, and it was fantastic. Really, really impressed me. Kind of unrated wine, it's $21 from Chablis, so it's not too over-the-top crazy, but it really caught my imagination, and the real thing that I wanted to highlight this with you guys today was that it's something that would be perfect for a Thanksgiving table. The meal that I had was, everything from bone marrow to chicken to swordfish, and everything in between, and it worked with every single dish. So for a Thanksgiving table, this would be perfect. So, take it away about Chablis.
Just a little background on the region of Chablis. Chablis is part of the Burgundy. It's actually separated slightly from the rest of the Burgundy. It's the northernmost section of the Burgundy. Almost closer to Champagne than it is to the rest of the Burgundy region. It is white Burgundy, so obviously they grow 100% Chardonnay for the white wines within any part of Burgundy, Chablis as well. Interesting region. It was Romans brought vines there. It's believed that actually Chardonnay was introduced to France and to Burgundy in Chablis itself. And there was wine production there going way back 1400s in that area. And then due to a series of wars, the towns were destroyed, the vineyards were destroyed. They came back in the 1800s, and then there were some blights and phylloxera, which destroyed all of the vines pretty much in the area, and they never really recovered until sometime after that. Through the 50s there was really nothing going on in the region. They were down to about 500 hectares of vineyards, which is almost nothing for a region.
And that's different from a lot of other French regions, you're saying, with
the
wars and just very, very different.
Yeah, most of them bounced back after phylloxera. They
Exactly.
replanted their vines. Never really happened there. It was just a lot of turmoil in the area. So another reason, difficult area to grow grapes in. It's way far north. It gets really cold. They can have frost as late as May, and frost can completely destroy a vineyard. And the vines, especially once after bud break, when the vines start sprouting in the spring. So it wasn't until the 60s when they sort of started rebounding, replanting vines. Technology in the vineyards came back to allow them to do things like putting heaters out actually in the vines. They put these fires, these ovens basically, these little stoves out in the vineyards to keep the vines warm. And other methods they used to keep the vines from getting killed off. So it wasn't until post-1950s into the 60s when they really started to come back, and Chablis as a region started to rebound.
Right.
Also interesting, the name Chablis you've probably heard very often. It was kind of abused for a long time.
Or also known as Chablis,
yes,
if you're saying it in
Chablis.
an American accent.
Exactly. But people just would use Chablis to talk about any white wine. Oh, it's Chablis. Didn't matter if it was Chardonnay, didn't matter if it was from France, and especially didn't matter if it was actually from Chablis in the Burgundy. And the producers in Burgundy have really worked, through the 90s and through now to really protect the name Chablis and bring it back to, what is a premier growing area within the Burgundy.
Exactly. So I don't know if you can get a shot of this, but I wanted to get you guys looking at the importer here. Becky Wasserman is the one who brought this in. And now she is an importer who's been in Burgundy since 1968. Her actual business has been in the works since, I think, 79. So she's got a serious track record. And really what her mission is to find, with her husband, very interesting wines that exemplify the appellation that they're in. So specifically Burgundies, just fantastic selection. So if you guys are ever at a loss at a wine shop, can't find something, look for Wasserman.
There's a few importers I'll look for on a back label before I buy a wine, and Wasserman's definitely one of the ones when I see it I feel a little a lot more security buying something I don't know and haven't had before.
Definitely. So, you know, if you guys are searching and hunting for a few things online after you see the video, you will not find a website for Mothe, because they're actually, I mean, as rustic as you can get. They actually own a farm, and they have cattle, they grow wheat, and a bunch of other crops. But the reason that Becky found this wine was because she had it at a tasting in Beaune with her husband, and they were blown away. They also make a higher end wine, which goes for $60, and that's a single vineyard from Beaugros. But this is just their entry-level Chablis. They do all stainless, so you have a very crisp and focused wine. And they're, as Becky said, the vinification that they do there, and they own about 30 hectares of vines, is very, very simple, as close to nature as it can be. You know, just true wines from where they come from. So, that being said, let's get into it. And this actually, you know, surprisingly enough, is a white wine that you can decant. And I threw it in a decanter before I went to a restaurant. And being in New Jersey, we can BYOB. So I dumped it in a decanter, had it at home, sloshed it around, you know, double decant, and then dumped it back in the bottle before we went to the restaurant. And let me tell you, it really opened up because, you know, of course, you know, interested. I got a sniff. And, you know, I even noticed a change in between, you know, the time I'd opened it, put it in the decanter, to the time that it got to the restaurant, and then to the end of the evening. So
that double decanting is a great move when you're going out somewhere, taking a bottle out. Throw it in a decanter, give it some air, put it back in the bottle. It does amazing things for most of the wines you're going to drink.
Exactly. And I mean, just from here, I don't know if you were getting it, the aromas just waft out the glass, and you can really start to smell them. And
Chablis known for very crisp, very clean wines that always show a lot of minerality, and I mean that jumps right out here. I mean,
if you want a wine with minerality and want to know what that is, drink this.
I was just gonna say, when I first started learning about wine and tasting, people would talk about minerality, and there was a part of me that was like, I think I know what it is, but I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. This is minerality.
Yes,
this is the definition of it.
So on the nose, I'm getting a lot of like lemon zest, you'll get the slate, that's the minerality. I always picture it as slate. I don't know, what else are you picking up here?
Definitely just tons of that, you know, some slate, crushed rock, like a little wet rock kind of thing. Definitely a lot of citrus notes.
And even like a butter note, and I'm not talking like a over-the-top fake butter, buttered popcorn sort of thing, not something like you'd find in California, but like French butter that actually smells.
A little round, a little soft, supple. A little creamy, yeah, definitely. But definitely not your Napa buttery shard. Not at all. And there's no oak here. They're not using any oak, so it's a very clean nose.
So this, like, just rips it on the palate.
Yeah.
And that acid that comes through, I mean, this is the essence of food pairing wine. This is why it went so well with bone marrow as well as swordfish.
Yeah, you could do this with a ton of foods. Any lighter fish dishes, chicken, turkey, you know, for sure. This is going to go with your side dishes. You know, perfect Thanksgiving wine. In fact, I think I'm going to bring one of these for Thanksgiving for sure. And it does have a little bit of the roundness, you know, that softness, which is probably from a little bit of malolactic. I don't know if they do.
A touch, I'm not sure off the top of the head.
It's not buttery, but it's soft. There's a suppleness to it. There's a weight on the palate. But it is clean, focused acid, and still crisp.
Exactly. And you get a lot of that sour, like, granny apple taste on the finish as well. It's just fantastic. And, you know, just... as far as vintages go, 08 is really, we were looking up a couple things, and, you know, they're still coming out, so Wine Advocate hasn't, you know, given the total vintage report for 08, however, for Whitebergs. But for Spectator, they gave it a, what was it, 89 to 92, and they said that it was really great in Chablis, specifically, and that, you know, there's a lot of good acid. There were lower yields, but that really kind of bumped the quality up, especially in small producers such as this that are really focused on, you know, making sure they get the best product out there.
mean, and at this price point, this drink's like a much more expensive white Burgundy.
Exactly.
I mean, at this price, it's a great wine.
And there's a lot of water Chablis out there.
Yeah.
This is far head and above,
And there's character to it. Chablis can sometimes be a little austere, just a little plain.
Yeah,
water,
as you're saying,
like
it's
you
so
said.
cold.
Exactly, yeah.
So, anyway, we just wanted to show you these and give you a new Behind the Vine. So, thanks for watching, guys.